Bone-based weapons make for the highest damage builds in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom when combined with a few other important factors, all of which will be covered in this guide. As usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. To begin, let's start with the required armor. You'll either need the Radiant set or the Evil Spirit set, as both give the Bone Weapon Proficiency set bonus, which nearly doubles the damage of any bone weapon or fuse weapon that uses a material with bone in the item name or description. Let's go for the Radiant set since it's a bit easier to acquire and also has a higher max armor rating. The Radiant set can be purchased at the armor shop in Kakariko village to the east of central Hyrule. Initially, each piece will be priced at 5,000 rupees, but there is a way to lower it. Speaking with the shopkeeper, she'll mention her ailing grandmother, whom you can find sleeping in a hut near the southeast corner of the village. You'll find the second granddaughter, Lazuli, a short distance north near a cooking pot. Speak with her to begin the Gloomborn Illness side quest. We will need to cook a bowl of sunny veggie porridge for this quest, which requires 3 ingredients: Hylian rice, fresh milk, and a Sundelion. Both the Hylian rice and fresh milk can be purchased from the general store in Hateno village, located in southeast Hyrule. The Sundelion is also easy to get, being found on almost any sky island. Once you've gathered all the ingredients, throw them into a pot to cook the porridge. Speak with Lazuli while the porridge is in your inventory, then offer it to her. This should cure the grandmother and result in lower prices at the armor shop. Now the Radiant armor will cost 800 rupees per piece, or a total of 2,400 for the set. To unlock the set bonus for the Radiant armor, we will need to upgrade each piece twice at a Great Fairy. This next part is a quick guide on how to unlock the first 2 Great Fairies for anyone that hasn't done that yet. First, you will probably need to put on some warm clothes and travel northwest of central Hyrule to the Lucky Clover Gazette. Here, you can speak with Pen and Tracy to begin the potential Princess Sightings side quest. I'm not 100% sure if this step is necessary, but if you are unable to start the Great Fairy quest, make sure you've done this step. Speaking of the Great Fairy quest, it can be started at the Woodland stable just northeast of central Hyrule. There, find and speak with Pen and the musicians to start the Great Fairy side quest. You'll need to repair the troop's wagon with Ultra Hand. Once you've done that, grab your horse from the stable and outfit it with a towing harness, which is unlocked by earning 3 pony points. If you haven't already, speak with Mastro and tell him that you'll take them to the ferry. Then hook the wagon up to the towing harness. The Great Ferry is located a short distance northwest up the hill. You can also use a vehicle made from Zonai devices to transport the troop, but trying to carry the whole wagon to the ferry with Ultra Hand will not work. In any case, once you've brought the duo to the Great Fairy, she will offer to upgrade your armor, but can only upgrade each piece a single time. For what we need, we'll have to go to the next Great Fairy. Head northwest of central Hyrule all the way to Snowfield Stable. Speak with Mastro there and he'll task you with finding Eustus, one of the troop's members. To find him, travel southwest all the way to the pit near Piper Ridge. Once you've found Eustus, you'll need to get both him and his wagon out of the pit. There is a very easy way to do this. First, speak with Eustus and tell him to get in the wagon. Then, pick up the wagon and hold it up near the ledge of the pit for a few seconds. Next, lower him back down and climb out of the pit. Finally, use recall to bring the wagon back near the ledge and then grab it with Ultra Hand to bring it the rest of the way out. After doing that, you can return to the troop at Snowfield Stable. Once there, attach one of the nearby planks of wood to the wagon to form a roof, then speak with Mastro and offer to take the troop to the ferry. Get your horse and towing harness, then drag the troop northeast to the second Great Ferry. Afterwards, the Great Ferry will offer to upgrade your armor and can upgrade each piece up to 2 times, which is enough to activate the Radiant Armor set bonus. Now all we need are the upgrade materials. Bokoblin and Moblin guts are simple enough, just find and defeat the corresponding enemy types to get their guts. We will need around 75 Luminous stones however, and so here are 3 locations you can go to in order to get a lot of them fast. The first location is Sky Mine in northeast Hyrule. To get there, we will start by using the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower. If it's your first time at this tower, you'll need to shoot down the nearby Arrokuda and bring the terminal back to the tower. Once in the air, fly east towards the Sky Island with the roaming Flux construct. You should see a partially built Zonai machine on the square part of the island, and we can use this to reach our destination. There are a total of 6 batteries in this area, and we will distribute them as evenly as we can across the 4 corners of the flying machine. Afterwards, we'll take control and fly northeast towards the Sky Mines. Even if you only have the single starter battery in your energy cell, it should still last long enough to get you close enough to the Sky Islands that you can glide the rest of the way over. Once there, we will activate the shrine and interact with the Zonai gate to activate the launchers. All that's left to do is use the launchers to fly all the way up to the small circular island. Up there, you'll find many Luminous Stone deposits, and they will respawn within the time of a Blood Moon cycle, or around 7 in-game days of time. There are 2 other locations exactly like this, and the second is located in the North Necluda Sky Archipelago. It's most easily reached from the Sahasra Skyview Tower. The first time you visit this tower, you'll need to mine your way into the cave below. Check your minimap to make sure you're beneath the Skyview Tower, then use Ascend to rise up into it. Remove the sticks that are jamming the doors closed and open them up for Bilson, who will repair the tower. After using the Sahasra Skyview Tower, you'll just need to glide northeast to the nearby islands and use the launcher to reach the collection of Luminous Stones. The last hotspot of Luminous Stones is in the South Hyrule Sky Archipelago. To reach it, first use the Hyrule Field Skyview Tower. Once in the air, glide southeast to the Sky Island with the circular pond. There, you'll find a floating platform and 2 rockets. Attach one of the rockets near the center of the platform at a 45-degree angle so that it's facing the Sky Islands to the southwest. And tuck the other rocket against one of the platform's side bumps so that it doesn't fly off when you start moving. Next, carefully hit just the rocket attached to the platform to begin moving up and southwest. Then repeat the same process with the second rocket. Locate a second floating platform to the southwest and glide down to it, using a bow to carefully eliminate the construct on it. Land on the platform and attach one of the 2 rockets to its center, facing straight up. Carefully activate just that rocket to gain some height. Finally, attach the second rocket to the platform at a 45-degree angle pointed west towards the circular island with the Luminous stone. This should bring you within gliding distance. Reaching this final hotspot is a bit tedious, so I recommend placing a travel medallion here if you have those unlocked to make return trips easier. Luminous stone can also be found scattered throughout Hyrule, usually in caves. However, those 3 locations alone should provide enough luminous stone to upgrade all pieces of the Radiant set twice within around 2 Blood Moon cycles. The next item on our list is an attack up consumable. One of the easiest way to make attack up meals is with mighty bananas, and multiple banana trees can be found in the areas surrounding Lake Floria. In particular, I found around 5 banana trees in Bronus Forest, all in close proximity. Throwing 5 mighty bananas in a cooking pot will guarantee a meal that provides a max attack up buff for 4 minutes and 10 seconds. In addition, if you replace one of those bananas with a golden apple, which are often found hanging from trees on Sky Islands, there is a fair chance to increase that buff duration to over 9 minutes. To reach those high damage potentials, we'll need the Jawbone of a Molduga, which burrows under the sands of Gerudo Desert. You can bait the Molduga out from the sand by throwing basically anything onto the sand in front of its path. If you time it right, you can even get the Molduga to eat a time bomb. In any case, once it's out and on the sand, stab it in the belly, which is its weak spot. The Molduga jaw has the highest fuse attack power of any material that is considered a bone and that is also reasonably durable. The Gibdo Bone technically has higher attack power but breaks almost instantly. The last part of this guide is about weapon handles that will maximize damage output. For general use, I recommend getting either the Scimitar of the Seven or the Lightscale Trident. Both are very durable and have traits that effectively double attack power. I've already made dedicated guides on how to get each, which I will leave links to near the bottom of this video's description. That being said, to get the weapon with the highest damage possible, we will need to get the Royal Guard's Claymore. I should mention that the Royal Guard's Claymore is very situational and only useful against Lynels, but it will be very useful. Taking off from the Skyview Tower at Lookout Landing, you can glide toward the main entrance of Hyrule Castle. If you have the glide suit, then getting there is no problem. Even if you don't, having a few stamina vessel upgrades or a couple stamina replenishing consumables will enable you to reach the floating castle. After running through the main entrance into the sanctum, take the left staircase to the 3rd floor. Near the crumbled horse statue's head, you'll find the Royal Guard's bow, which is extremely strong. What we are really after is the Royal Guard's Claymore, which is behind the horse statue's legs. From what I've heard, there are some shadow statues in the depths that will rarely spawn a sparkling Royal Guard's Claymore, which deals even more damage. However, it's exceedingly rare to find, and I'm hesitant to spend time looking for one just to get a 7-point boost to base attack power. That being said, this is the one statue that I've seen reported to drop a Royal Knight's Claymore. You can see the coordinates, and I'll show the map location too. Maybe if enough people check it out, at least one person will get lucky. I'll explain what makes the Royal Guard's Claymore so special in a moment, but for now, let's go upgrade it for maximum damage potential. We need to take it to a rock Octorok, and there are plenty of them scattered around Death Mountain. I like going to the Momo 6 Shrine because there are 2 Octoroks right next to it. When you drop a weapon in front of an Octorok, it will suck it up, repairing and upgrading it before violently spitting it back at you. The first upgrade on the Claymore will either be white or blue, but what we want is gold. For that, we will need to take it to a different rock Octorok. This is because a given Octorok will only repair and upgrade 1 weapon per Blood Moon. Save the game just before dropping the Claymore in front of a new Octorok. That way, if you get an undesirable upgrade, you can load that save to try again. What we're looking for is a gold attack up upgrade, with the best outcome being a +10. What makes the Royal Guard's Claymore special is that it has a property where once it's badly damaged, its attack power is doubled. Not only that, but the attack power of any material fused with it is also doubled. Normally, this would only last for the fuse swings remaining in the Claymore. However, we will only be using this weapon while on the backs of Lynels, where it won't take durability damage and therefore can be used indefinitely. With that in mind, first fuse the Molduga jaw to the Claymore. Next, use charged attacks to carefully wear down the durability on the Claymore until it says that it's badly damaged. At this point, the attack power of the Claymore should be doubled, but there's actually more. The Royal Guard's Claymore has a hidden property where when it's only a single hit from breaking, its attack power is doubled once more for massive damage. When you first get the notification that the Claymore is badly damaged, it still has 3 hits left in it. So save the game, then do 2 more heavy attacks with the Claymore to bring it within an inch of breaking. Even though the attack power stat won't visibly change in the menu, it should now be dealing over 290 damage per hit, and that is without any additional modifiers. When we add the Bone Weapon Proficiency set bonus from the Radiant Armor and the attack up boost of a Mighty Banana Meal, this Claymore will deal over 800 damage per hit. This is best exemplified when we use it against a Silver Lynel which has over 5000 health. And the best place to find those is at the Floating Coliseum in the Depths, which is beneath the southwest corner of Hyrule Field. In this demonstration, I equip the Radiant Armor for the set bonus, consume a meal made from 5 Mighty Bananas, and arm myself with the beefed up Claymore. Once I get on the Silver Lynel's back, I'm able to get 6 hits in. At 800 plus damage per hit, that is more than enough to finish it off. Now, if you do use this weapon on weaker Lynels, just be careful not to mash the attack button, as you could end up smashing the Claymore into the ground, breaking it. Going back to a high damage weapon for regular use, you can do something similar with a Molduga jaw on either the Lightscale Trident or Scimitar of the 7. You'll just need to use an attack up consumable whenever you want that really high damage. That being said, this probably won't be my primary armor set. The Fierce Deity set with a Silver Lynel Saberhorn on either the Trident or Scimitar is nearly as good and doesn't require the use of an attack up consumable to maximize damage. On top of that, I personally like the look of the Fierce Deity set a lot more, but if you want to achieve the highest damage output possible, well, now you know how. If you want to see more great guides, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cat, her name's Marshmallow. Have a great day. If you're here today, have a great Thursday, and as always, thanks for watching.